Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2, Hills Knights. He's a hard worker, that bloke. He doesn't stop. Well, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to this picturesque Sunday afternoon here at Valentine Sports Park, I should say. It's Sunday the 28th of May, and there is not a cloud in the sky. And what better place to be than here on NPL.TV to see some under-17s Division 2 action. The sides backing up from some Saturday action, and less than 24 hours later, they're both trying to get 2 from 2 both victorious yesterday on Saturday. And let's see if the Rams and the Knights can continue that winning form here today, as we see the Knights donning the purplish colour, sitting at the bottom of the table in season 2022. But what better way to spark a comeback and a return than a win yesterday, and quite a convincing one. 6-5 high-scoring contest against the North Rock side. And then it was the Rouse Hill Rams victorious as well, 1-0 over Glen Haven. So in 90 minutes' time, we'll have the answer. Who will come away with the win? Will the Rams remain in first place, or can the Knights get off the bottom of the table? As we see a header from the Hills Knights side through Johns there. And now Smythe with the long skins on. Headed across by Sandu. And Kramer at the back for Rouse Hill. Bit of an attacking chance now for Rouse Hill, looking to score an early goal. They cross it into the right area, but met by Cope, as well as by Jesse Almeida, donning a red headband. Rafael Nadal-esque. Quite fitting, given the French Opens on at the moment. So quite an interesting game of football this afternoon. We have Rouse Hill in first place, but only 13 goals for season 2022. And when you've played 6 matches and just scored 13, it's a sign that maybe attack is not your strong suit. However, defensively, they've only conceded 6, so maybe defence is the play. And let's see if it's tested here as Hills go on the attack. We see the lovely pass through to Johns. First opportunity. Johns puts it off the right, tests the keeper for the first time. Great save by Shahata. And it's cleared away by that Rouse Hill defence, which has been convincing in season 2022, as we said. Only conceding the 6 goals thus far in 6 matches. Whereas Hills Knights have conceded 30. So let those numbers tell the tale. Higham. Now Sandu again. Ganima. Bit of speed by Sandu. Safely cleared away by Van Eyck. Dutch surname. Higham. Now Sandu, the speedy number 12. Ganima intercepted. Counter-attack time for the Knights. Lovely pass. Again, that Rouse Hill defence, though, proving strong again. But Downey just can't keep the ball in. And a little bit of pushing and shoving by the Hills Knights. And now a chance. The ball finds itself in the 18-yard box. But again, the Rouse Hill clearing kick. 0-0. 6 minutes gone in this under-17s Division 2 clash. Round number 7. Macon. Big frame for a 17-year-old. He's a big boy. Sandu again. Nice pass. May have a bit too much on this AstroTurf. And it does. So at the moment, both sides just trying to figure each other out. Try to assert that early dominance and potentially get their side in front on the scoreboard. But for now, it will be a throw-in by the Knights. Late inclusion in Keanu Mishu, the goalkeeper for Hills Knights, and Lachlan Tinney won't be there. First chance, Rouse Hill, goal! And just like that, a throw-in from the Knights, which is intercepted and turned into points by Rouse Hill. So they haven't had many opportunities, have the Rams, but given one chance, they capitalise and they go up 1-0. So we've spoke about the defence of the Hills Knights being their weakest point in season 2022, and sadly, that was heavily displayed then. But can they get one back here? Good defence by Rouse Hill. Speaking of strong suits, defence, that's been the Rams' motto in season 2022. Don't concede any. Now, another counter-attack time. They lead by 1. Lovely pass. But Mishu elects to clear the ball off the boot. And again, there's another Rams jersey there to clear the ball. So 1-0. Rams lead out of nowhere. Caught the commentator napping. Sandu. He's been dangerous early. Looks for the cross. It's nice. Head gets there. Misses everyone. Rams player down, but back to his feet. Intercepted. The big frame of the Hills Knights. Now it's Mulherron. Nice pass, but equally nice defence. And Downey. He's been good at the left-back position thus far. And Macon. Now to Johns, but again, a Rouse Hill interception and a chance to go on the attack once more. Lovely pass. Now another opportunity. And I'm not sure what happened off the ball there. And the referee may have something to say. Was the number 25 in Turner. Looked accidental, but it certainly left a mark on Jakey Ashwood's left eye, it seems. And you wouldn't want some wind blowing in that today as he puts his jersey over his face and just collects his thoughts. And he should be fine to continue playing in a few moments. But it's a chance for Rouse Hill to turn 1 into 2. And it'll be Bailey Norrish. Norrish off the right. Tight, long. Accuracy doesn't meet the attempt. 1-0, the score remains. So he's keeping an eye on Jake Ashwood. He looks fine. Hasn't touched the iron the last few moments, and he'll continue doing his work in that midfield position. Now, Amar Shahata. In fact, it's the keeper in Mishu. But now, Sandu. If anyone deserved one, it's him. He looks brilliant up in that striking position. He's hasn't got a large frame, but he's certainly got the speed and the skill to make do. Just Kirat Sandu, the 12. Keep an eye on him. He's been very busy in the opening exchanges, as has this man. Giles gets past one. The effort and defence was certainly there by Hills. Great footballer, this young man. Giles beats one. Looks to beat another. Will we earn his side? A corner kick. He's got that all too familiar haircut. The short sides, but the mullet out the back does Giles. Ethan Giles. So Luke Downey, he's been good at the left back role. Let's see if his corner can match the effort. Off the left. Sandu's there. Chance for Rouse Hill. And Jake Ashwood cleared the left eye. Tried to clear the keeper, but it sailed over the goalpost for a goal kick. So as we touched on, these two sides did play only yesterday. So endurance and potentially fatigue may play a role late in this first half and well and truly into the second. Young men, so they should be up and ready for it, but let's keep an eye on the legs of the two outfits here today. Both coming off wins as well. So both poised for another today, but at the moment it's Rouse Hill leading 1-0. Nadal there, we'll call him. And Sandu, so busy in the centre of the park. So's Ashwood and Downey, intercepted though by the Knights, but Giles, who's a fantastic footballer, he's just got the skill. Thought he'd earn his side a throw in, but in fact it goes the way of the Knights. So I'm sure a few of these men are up at 5 o'clock this morning. Delay in the game. Fake tickets were purchased by Liverpool fans, unable to make their way to the French home ground. Luckily, the fans here at Valentine Sports Park don't have that problem. Lovely display by Norrish, but met some good defence. Counter-attacking time. Can the Knights respond? Spagnolo. Downey pestering him everywhere he goes, but Spagnolo just can't keep it in. And we spoke about the defence of Rouse Hill. 6 games, and they've only conceded 6 goals. And they say defence wins premierships, and at the moment, Rouse Hill sit in first place as Giles. He's been fantastic. Doesn't connect as he would have liked. But he'll get a second chance as he chests the ball to himself. But coming across in great defence was Macon. Ganima tries to find Sandu. Unsuccessful. Spagnolo. Still with Spagnolo. But again, that Rouse Hill defence. Ashwood. One-on-one contest. Ashwood and Turner, but Turner elects the smart option and sends it over that western touchline. Smythe now. The long skins. Tries to go back to Smythe, but it's not a great accurate pass. And make that 2 of those. Sandu. Better defence by the Knights. They need to up the ante in that end of the field. It's Downey. Chips it across. Macon. Now Spagnolo is dispossessed by Smythe. And Macon, the big frame for a 17-year-old, as we said, throws the ball in. And Downey's there. He kicks it nicely off the left. But intercepted by Van Eyck. Van Eyck through the legs. Through the legs was Pham. But Shahata was there to collect the ball in the right area. So now a turn of the tide. Hills Knights on the attack off the right. Says Pham. But it just sails over the crossbar. So a bit of a swing of the pendulum. The way of the team in purple. The Knights just, they can't afford to have too many missed opportunities, because I'm sure with the defence of Rouse Hill, they will come far and few between. But nonetheless, 2 shots on goal still remain with nil. Rouse Hill 1, Hills Knights yet to score. Danger man, Sandu. Lovely pass through to Ashwood. Met in great defence. Ashwood possesses still. Still with Ashwood. Across the face, goal kick. So he's certainly shaken off that bump to the left eye. He had 3 or 4 Knights defenders around him and was able to still almost get himself a goal. So the tale of the story thus far is Sandu and Giles. They've been superb for the Rams. The most skillful 2 footballers I've seen here at Valentine Sports Park. So Mishu clears it away. Back to Sandu though. And Sandu, he'll be looking for Ashwood. Sandu has a shot himself. Mishu read it well, took it cleanly, and clears just as nice. Now a couple of substitutions made by the Knights as we see Mahinthan, I should say, on the park. Fam. But again, the classy defence of Rouse Hill is there to do their job. Well maintained, well controlled. Perez. Still with Perez. Good football there. Not a bad pass. Tries to find Ashwood. Still with Ashwood. Gets past one. Hit of a handball. Referee says play on. 4 purple jerseys, and they're able to get it off him, but it did take the 4. Mahinthan. Still with Mahinthan. Good control. Beats one. Gets past another. No, Giles is there. Good control. Well done by Mahinthan. Good inclusion on the park. Another chance by the Knights. Pham with the ball. Pham beats one. Has a shot off the left. No, he's taken down. And he may be an inch outside the box. Well, that could have been very interesting. And the referees marked the spot. I dare say it. It is a game of inches, and he's in fact just one shy of a one-on-one chance. But Pham's looked good in the centre of the park. I've liked Mahinthan since he's come on. So he's got a wall to beat. Jonah Pham strikes it, likes it, goal! Great goal. Jonah Pham, we said he looked busy in the centre of the park. He earned his team a free kick, and he's just levelled the scoring here at Valentine Sports Park. Jonah Pham. I don't want him to get a haircut. He doesn't need one. He's too good. 1-1. Knights, Rams. Well, hasn't the complexion of this one slightly altered? It was all Rouse Hill. The Giles, the Sandu show, and the injection of Mahinthan, and then the goal by Pham, and we're all locked up at 1 apiece. Again, Pham's involved. So they don't know much about conceding goals, do Rouse Hill, but they've just conceded one there. Can Sandu control the ball and get his troops a little bit of confidence back? Maybe it'll be this man in Norrish. Nice control there. Again by Norrish. Ashwood's coming across. Smart decision. Cope had no choice, and it will be a corner kick. So 1-1. Just under 20 minutes gone in our first half in this men's under-17s Division 2 contest. It is first versus last, but you wouldn't have picked it. The Knights, they want to get off the bottom of the ladder. So we see a corner kick, and he's lost his compass, and it will be a goal kick. So Pham in the 46 jersey. There was almost a one-on-one chance with the keeper, but instead it was just outside the box, and he stepped up, he struck it cleanly, and it sailed past Shahada, and it was a goal to the Knights, and they respond in emphatic fashion. 1-1. Not a great clear. Sandu, good defence though, Hills. Well, they're certainly not a side that look like they've conceded 31 goals in 6 games, because defensively they've been sound. As Pham, lovely pass, it'll sit up nicely. Now Johns, what can he do with the ball? Nice tap, Mahanthan's there, but so's a grey jersey. Concerning signs, but this kid Giles is a star. Reads it well. Giles has one to beat. Great defence. And I've liked that contest. Macon and Giles. Macon's about twice the size of him, but Giles doesn't know any other way but fast and strong. And again, Giles met by Macon. It's like a game of tennis. I'll hit once, you hit the next. And a throw in there. And the referee awards a free kick to the Knights, so a let off for them. 20 minutes gone in this round 7 fixture. As we said, both sides did play yesterday. Both did win. So let's see who has the endurance here today. At the moment, the Hills Knights, the pendulum has swung their way. Thanks to this man, Mahanthan. Lovely pass. Looks to find the big fella, Macon. He's charging down the wing. Has plenty of time. Doesn't need it though. Crosses. Mahanthan's there. Keeper dives. Open goal. And the Knights are coming. Swords and all. The Hills Knights. Who said they're in 8th place? They look superb. And Spagnolo hits it nicely. They get up. They get up. And they score. Was it Macon? I think it was. Was it Levi Macon who may have got his side a goal? We'll keep an eye on him. But nonetheless, would you believe it? The 8th place Knights lead the 1st place Rams 2-1. Incredible stuff. And if anyone deserved a goal, it was Levi Macon. He'd be just shy of 6 foot, maybe 80 kilos. He's a big frame. And on that occasion, he leapt above the pack, got his head to the ball, and puts the Knights up 2-1. Concerning signs for the Rams. Conceded 6 goals in 6 games. Now they concede 2 in 20 minutes. And Pham. Almost another chance. Sandhu. He's been brilliant. A little bit quiet in the last 5. Can he lift it up? Off the right. Again, across the face though. 2-1. The Knights. Well, the interesting statistics for this Division 2 competition is the Knights, they're not shy of scoring goals. They've in fact scored 16 in this, their 7th fixture, but they've just conceded 30. I'll make it 31 today. But at the moment, they're on top 2-1, and they are looking superb. Mishu, not his best of the afternoon. Now, Giles. Still Giles, but the ante of that Knights defence is certainly lifted. And it's Jasper Van Eyck who is not letting Giles past him. Giles goes long. But again, guess who's there? Macon. And Macon clears the ball. Finds Mahanthan. Mahanthan. Nice pass, sprinting across, keeper comes out. Well read by the goalkeeper. Superbly read by Shahata. It's always an educated guess, leaving the goal line to chase and charge. And on that occasion, it was advantage Rouse Hill. Now they're on the attack. Crossing kick. Giles is there, 1-on-1. Probably had an extra second if he needed it, Giles. Didn't need to push the kick. He did. And it sailed over the crossbar. So interesting scenes here. Giles, he's been the most patient man in Sydney this afternoon until then. He pushed the button a bit early and probably had an extra stride or two. Like waiting in the toll booth. The patience was not a virtue for Ethan Giles. Interesting game of football. If you tuned in at the start, in the opening 5 to 10 minutes, and you switched it off, you would have thought it'd be 6-0 Rouse Hill, but if you've come back from your cup of tea and you're looking at the scoreboard, your eyes do not offend you. 2-1, 8th place Knights lead. How will they respond? Rouse Hill. Chip over the top. Ashwood. It's another goal kick to Michu. Keanu Michu. French, I'd assume. Sandu meets it again. DiPiazzi over there in the right wing position for Rouse Hill. And it's kept in by the Knights. Spagnolo with that beautiful corner before the cross, which met the head of Macon. Rouse Hill on the attack. The Rams and Shahata. Cross by Giles. Misses them all, including Ashwood, but Ashwood does get the ball back, tries to get around Turner, but good defence by little Jaden Turner there. And suggestion of a corner kick, but the referee appeals for a goal kick. As we see this young man in Mahinthan leave the park. And talk about injection. In fact, no, it's Daniel Fernandez. He's been very solid since he's been on the park too, but Mahinthan in the 89. Joel Mahinthan. Since he's come on the field, they have scored 2 goals. The 89 jersey for the Knights. Now, Ashwood looks for the cross. Few players are there, including this man. But again, Macon, as safe as houses, clears the ball. Mahinthan, he was pestering the defence. Now, Pham, the goal scorer, on his lonesome, tries to get round one, finds Mahinthan. Mahinthan with the tap. Good defence. Good defence by Downey. And Downey throws us back in. Macon. Smythe. He's been strong at the left back role. So Cameron Smythe electing to go the aerial route with his throw-in. Does so, but met by Macon. Kneed by Smythe. Lovely chip kick. Giles is there. Chips to himself. He's classy. Again, the patience. Perfect. Ethan Giles. Chased by a Knights defender. Giles needs the cross. A little bit too much on that last touch. And it was Cope with a great decision in defence. So Giles with the corner here. Not many Rouse Hill players in the area. Quite an intriguing look, but plenty of purple. Giles off the left. Misses everything. Not surprising. Interesting tactic by Rouse Hill there, keeping all their players in the midfield area. Not sure what they were trying to do. It's literally a sole player running around inside of the 18-yard box. I'm not sure what Rouse Hill were doing there. They find themselves in an unusual position in season 2022, and that's down on the scoreboard. So maybe panic stations for Rouse Hill. Looks a little bit better this corner. Comes up nicely, finds the head, but misses the goal. DiPiazzi was there. Struck a lock of hair, but couldn't find the back of the net. Again, now it's Jaden King. Big looping kick, and Michu takes it safely in the 2 mitts and clears it off the right. It's a big, long aerial route. And Mahinthan, he could be the fittest man in Sydney, that guy. He has not stopped running. Mahinthan trying to find Macon. Instead, it's intercepted by Rouse Hill, but back to Macon. And the ball is unable to be kept in by Smythe. And Mahinthan, good throw in. may have touched the hand of the defender and Downey, but the referee disagrees. Concerns. Giles is there. So's Ashwood. Jaden King just didn't have the right direction. And the speed of Macon, the ball beats him over the sideline. And it will be a Rouse Hill throw-in. So 2-1. The Hills Knights Football Club. The energy levels, the excitement, the enthusiasm. Certainly all the efforts are 1% greater than Rouse Hill at the moment. Hence the end of the field we find ourselves in. Sandu and Mahinthan. Good little battle that'll be this afternoon. Sandu met by Mahinthan, but the last touch was off Joel. So it will be a Rouse Hill throw-in once again. Downey. Again with Downey. Headed to Giles. The skillful Giles, and he elects just to belt it off the left. And coming through is Ashwood. The ball didn't bounce in his favour. And it was good defence by the Knights. Ashwood, he's very quick. Smythe. And a spinning kick by the 22 in Van Eyck. So Giles throws into Smythe, who headers the ball, but it's taken by Macon. He keeps the ball in, but it did get every bit of those laces. So it will be a Rouse Hill goal kick. Score remains 2-1. Sunday afternoon football here on NPL TV. We thank you for your company wherever you're watching around the state or potentially even around globally. The production brought to you by the Sportscaster team, of course. We thank them for their ongoing support in season 2022. And, of course, Jamie. Just doing Jamie things. Filming extraordinaire. So we see Giles below us here. Ethan Giles. With a Pappenhausen-esque mullet. It's a nice throw-in. Sandu to Giles. It's a combination we haven't heard of in the last few moments. Can that reinvigorate the Rouse Hill side? Giles off the left, along the turf. Good defence by the Knights. And a clearing kick. Giles off the left again. Perfect defence, though, the Knights. Again, the defence has not been the strong suit of the Purple Army. Conceding 31 goals in 6 games, but hey, you wouldn't know that from watching this effort here today. Giles, probably he's allowed 1 or 2 bad ones because he's been good. Gets a second chance here. Passes instead. And that wasn't the right execution by Rouse Hill. So, an interesting halftime break coming up for both these two sides. I'm sure Coach Johns and Manager Cope would be thrilled with the Knights' performance in this first half. Whereas Coach Upcroft and Manager Kim Graham certainly will need to put a rocket up the boys in Rouse Hill, because whilst their effort's been there, the execution, not so much. Sandu. Good pass. Finds King. King, lovely pass. The speedy Ashwood. Keeper comes out. Oh, big contact. Very big contact by Keanu Mishu. And he's doing the name Keanu extremely perfect justice there. The contact on Ashwood was intense. Oh, when you leave the area and you're a keeper, you've got to be certain. And on that occasion, he left nothing in the basket as King finds Sandu. But again, that E-word execution, not there at the moment for Rouse Hill. Downey just elects to control the ball and take his time. Intercepted again by Macon. He's been the best on ground, substantially so for the Knights. This man not far off. Hinthen. He might have been late this morning because he started off the reserves bench, but since he's been injected into this game, his efforts have been nothing short of superb. Good defence. Needed to find that. Did Van Eyck. Well, in fact, it's Turner. But Sandu almost fools himself. King, lovely pass. If Giles takes it cleanly, he can. And just couldn't control it, though, could Giles. Now, Macon. Look at the speed and the power of the young man. Still with Macon, but great defence by Cam Smythe. Sandu, he needs some troops. Not many people are up there. Screen for it here is the 8 for Rouse Hill. Back to Sandu. Looks to find his mate. Finds Giles. Back to Sandu. Miss kick. We spoke about fatigue. I think Sandu's feeling every bit of that. And Joel. Mahinthan. One-on-one with Downey. And Mahinthan, can he get the ball? Can he dispossess Downey? Lovely effort by Downey there. Perfect control, perfect patience. And counter-attacking opportunity now for the Rams. And left shoulder by goal scorer Pham. Back to Mahinthan. Crossing kick. Maybe been a hint of a left upper arm, maybe there, but the referee says no, let's continue play. And King, chance for Rouse Hill. It needs a precise pass. Giles, usually the man for that job. But the defence of Hills Knights has certainly been sound in this first half. DiPiazzi, now Sandu. Sandu to King, but it does beat him. Does the ball, and Cope sends the ball over the sideline as a substitution is made, and Levi Macon, who's been outstanding for the Hills Knights, comes off the park, and coming back on is Jasper Van Eyck. Now, King. Again, the defence of the Knights. It's almost a different outfit today. And a nice clearing kick by the Knights, but again, it's the Giles and the Sandu effort. Now Giles, he looks a bit tired, doesn't he? Tries to get around the defence of Salim, but lovely work by Dominic Salim, a name we haven't spelt out too many times today. So let's see if Salim can get some more involvement. I'm sure he will. He's in the defensive role, and there'll be plenty more one-on-one efforts needed like that from Dom. And a throw in. King. Now Sandu. Again, Salim, good defence. And an absolute age. Does Downey have? Norrish. Still with Norrish. Good defence. Mahinthan. Pham. Still with Pham. Oh, a loose boot. Referee has in fact fouled Pham there. I could have sworn it was the loose kick by Norrish, but nonetheless, Rousler on the attack. Giles, and he almost needs a bath. He's that tired. He's fatigued. He's done plenty of work as Ethan Giles, and Ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to our first half. What a fantastic half it was. To start the game, it was Rouse Hill going out to a 1-0 lead, and we thought that was almost all she wrote. They were going to kick away and define why they're in first place. But the story of the first half is no matter where you're sitting on the ladder, it's still a game of 50-50. So it's the Hills Knights 2, leading the Rouse Hill Rams 1 here at the halftime break. We'll be back on the other side of this with much, much more. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this second half of our under-17s clash here at Valentine Sports Park. And what was an intriguing first half. We mentioned Rouse Hill getting the upper hand, and then all of a sudden the Hills Knights, sitting in 8th place, are now up 2-1 and looking to open the scoring early on in the opening moments of the second half. But once again, welcome back to NPL.TV. All the production, of course, brought to you by the Sportscaster team. My name is Ben Eisenuth. I'll be your lead caller for the second half. And I'm looking forward to a pretty exciting game. But Sunday, the 28th of May, is where we find ourselves today. And you could not find a cloud in the sky, even if you tried. And of course, today isn't just match number 7 for both these sides. It's of course the first birthday for young Bodie Davis. So a happy birthday to Bodie. And looking forward to seeing all the Davis family and Henderson family at some stage later this afternoon. Joel and Katie, of course, proud parents of the young man Bodie. So Bodie doing plenty of things off the field. Let's see who's going to do plenty on it. As we see Rouse Hill dispossessing the ball off the Knights. 2-1. The Knights clinging on to a lead. Manhattan. Nice little control shown there by Almeida. Sounds like a Spanish name, so he's fitting the mould of the Spaniard in Nadal is Almeida. And the Knights just, at the moment, having an answer for everything Rouse Hill are throwing at them. Norrish. Lovely pass. Ashwood tries to go himself. Once again, superbly read by Mishu. The speed of Jake Ashwood. It's dangerous. He's just got to find himself an open pasture. And we see in the background, if you ever played a game of football on AstroTurf and you slide along the deck, you don't want to wear school pants for about 2 weeks. You'll end up with one of those awful grazes that's become sticky and oozy, and you got Jake Ashwood in the background clutching at that upper left thigh. And I feel your pain, Jake. I've felt those too many times. But nonetheless, I doubt that'll be the last time we'll see Jake making a lunge to try and level up the scores here this afternoon. 2-1, the Hills Knights. I can't stop saying the scoreline. I've almost got to remind myself. It's incredible. Last place, 2. First place, 1. Amazing stuff. Mulherron. Still with Mulherron. Tries to get past a few. Strong defense by the Rams. And Shahata needs to send this down the park and does so. King. Speedy Ashwood coasting along. Oh, and maybe a shove off the ball, and the referee agrees. And Jake Ashwood will earn himself a free kick just on the commentary side of ground here at Valentine Sports Park. And Jaden King. He's a big frame. He's got a big right boot. What's he do here? It's coming around. It's hooking, but just not enough. And we spoke about the minutes played of football. Well, we just saw a 90-minute effort from both these two sides only yesterday. Can you believe it? So maybe a make-up game for both these two sides. So yesterday, Saturday the 28th of May, both the Rams and the Knights recording wins. The Rams recording their 3rd win from 5 games, and the Knights recording win number 1. So the Knights hoping to go dub. 2 wins in as many days. Oh, will the Rams spoil the Hills party. Spagnolo rolls off the tongue nicely. A big rangy kick from Almeida. The wind's picked up here. The wind against the Knights at the moment, blowing into their faces and at the backs of the Rams. So it's not just the momentum that's swinging the way of Rouse Hill in this opening 5 minutes of the second half. It's the wind too. But still, they find themselves down on the scoreboard. So we spoke about in the first half a couple of duos that were working hand in hand for the Rouse Hill side. And of course, Sandu and number 5 and Ethan Giles. So the 5 in Giles and the 12 in Sandu, they were brilliant. But it was that man who's hovering around the ball in Hanthan, whose injection in jersey number 89 for the Hills Knights saw 2 goals scored in just 12 minutes of play. So Joel Minhanthan has been superb for the Knights, and how can we forget the big fella in Levi Macon? He's been brilliant. He scored himself a goal too and leapt above the pack, as we said. Got ahead to the ball and put his side up 2-1, as there was that ball may have been out, but nonetheless, it's play on. King couldn't control the header there on that occasion, but down he can. I think we might fight Sandu, who's on the reserves bench, so a well-earned rest for him. Giles, who's now on the other side of the ground for the commentary side. So I'm sure you'll be seeing him doing plenty of work over in that left midfield position. So again, it's a strange tactic by Rouse. They don't have many players in and around the ball in the box as King comes through and can't control the ball at all. And it goes out for a goal kick. But I'm curious to try and dissect and understand why the Rams are keeping their players out of the area when the header from Macon, where we saw 5 purple jerseys around the keeper, saw a Knights score a goal. So I'm sure there's a method to their madness, but at the moment they find themselves down on the scorecard 2-1. Good defence by Almeida. And a good decision by Van Eyck. So will the Knights put the cue in the rack? Will they try and hold the fort, so to speak? Do what good Knights do? Or will they continue to go on the attack as Rouse Hill are doing just that right now? There's a bit of a shove off the ball. Norrish, but he's back on his feet. And King, can he keep it in? He can. But again, there's another purple jersey. Spagnolo finds Mulheron. Oh, what a big shoulder from Macon. But saved an almost certain goal. Minhanthan's there. The keeper comes out. Minhanthan, I was going to say that would have hurt the keeper there. The right knee of Minhanthan collected the skull of Shahata, but Amar is straight back to his feet, shakes it off, and he knows the importance of his role in staying inside the goal posts. As a substitution is made by the Hills Knights, and goal scorer Jonah Pham returns. So can he score another? You'd almost say if the Knights can score another goal here, it's almost all she wrote. Because Rouse Hill are just struggling to penetrate this purple defensive wall. Norrish off the right. Doesn't trouble Mishu one bit. Almeida, back to Pham. Pham, perfect by Downey. The heel to himself, the control. He's been beautiful at the back. Almeida coming across in defence. So's Van Eyck. So, as we've said, it's a perfect afternoon for some football. Of course, our ball sponsors are Deploy. We thank Deploy for providing all the footballs here at Valentine Sports Park. And of course, in the men's under-17s competition, as we see Almeida on the attack, but not a great pass to Spagnolo. Can he get it better on the second attempt? Maybe the third. But he can't. Mateo Perez. I think it's Perez, silent Z in Spanish, but we'll go with Perez. And big boy Macon sends the ball over the sideline. So Perez with the short back and sides. Looks to inbound this ball, we'll call it. There's plenty of players around it. Finds Almeida's head. And a clearing kick. Pham. Can he get himself a second? Jonah Pham. It's a nice pass. Manhattan's coming through. There's two grey jerseys around it. DiPiazzi elects to safely dispose of that Deploy football. And we'll see another Spagnolo corner kick. So the differing corner kicks. Look at the purple jerseys around the ball. Who gets up? Takes the head of Manhattan. But the ball misses the face of the goal. And it will remain 2-1. The Knights in the lead. And the ball stays in. Lovely work by Norrish. And we see a free kick awarded to the Hills Knights. Almost an hour of play gone here this afternoon. Another substitution made. And this is exactly what the Rams need. Sandu. The 12 and 5, the Sandu-Giles combination. Let's see if they can bring that back in the final half an hour of this contest. Van Eyck, almost a toe poke. Perez, back to Sandu. Let's see his involvement, Sandu. Vital player for the Rouse Hill team. But again, the telling tale of the afternoon, we've said it all along, in season 2022, the Knights have conceded 31 goals, but they've scored more than the Rams. So the Rams, albeit not conceding many, 6 in 6 games and now 2 this afternoon, they've only scored 11, now make it 12 today in just 6 games. So scoring goals for the Rams has been challenging for a team, well, that are in first place. Perez finds the header. Now, that man who, he certainly needs one. Sandu, but not a great kick. Pham with the keeper. But Shahada, lovely clearing kick. And Van Eyck safely trickles the ball over the sideline here on the commentary side of ground. Oh, and it misses everyone. Now Ashwood, they won't catch him one-on-one. He's too quick. Does he look for the cross? Does. Giles! If Giles maybe had an extra yard, extra yard of pace, he may have beaten Mishu there. But the chances, they're still coming. Sandu. Higham. Now Minhanthan. Fam's racing onto the ball. Puts it through. He's there. Fam beats one. Great defence. Again, Luke Downey. And Spagnolo says, I'll have a shot from 30 out. Thank you, but it beats everyone. So Jonah Pham, Joel Minhanthan, the 89 and the 46. Great game of football, but it's still the Knights whom lead, 2-1. Now, Giles, he certainly needs to increase his involvement, but it's hard when he's opposed by Macon. What a battle that's been, Macon and Giles. Now Spagnolo. Still with Spagnolo, misses the head of him. Giles, he's everywhere that Spagnolo goes. And the last touch was off Jesse Almeida. Rocking the red headband. Got the locks to boot. Another substitution. DiPiazzi comes from the field for a well-earned rest, and Ganima enters for Rouse Hill. Perez. And kneed away by Van Eyck. So as we see the crowd try and lift this Rouse Hill side. 5 wins and just the 1 loss in season 2022 for Rouse Hill. So an unfamiliar sight to be on the negative end of a first half. I'm sure the instructions at half-time were to just try and capitalise on those opportunities and turn those efforts into points. But they haven't done so inside the first 20 minutes of the second half. It's pretty hard when you've got the Hills Knights answering every question you're posing to them. And Minhanthan gets around the defender in Colbert. Minhanthan, lovely cross. Spagnolo, can he keep it in? He can. But Perez is there. But the last touch was off him. A bit of a smile and a chat between the boys, and Spagnolo and Perez may go to the same barber. Spagnolo, not a great throw-in, finds Sandu. Pham intercepts the ball, but it'll come back for a Rouse Hill goal kick. So who is going to break open this game? At the moment, it's end-to-end stuff. No real chances in the second half. Who will be the man to stand up? Who will be the 17-year-old to be the talk of the high school yard tomorrow morning? Almeida. Maybe it's this bloke, Perez. Can he get the ball through to Ashwood? He can, but great defence again. Giles still has the ball, bit better on that occasion. Didn't rush himself, didn't rush the Rams side. Giles off the left. And the ball is kept in play and sent over the sideline for a throw in. So Rouse Hill are coming. You can sense it. You can sense a grey and blue goal, but who's going to be the one to beat Mishu? Giles. Better kick. It's high. Hasn't touched the ground in almost an age. Headed by Ganima. But it's about 10 yards to the right of the post. Another substitution. Benjamin Kramer, one of the great first names, Benjamin. Let's see what Benny can do. And a few subs as well, returning Mulheron and Fernandez for the night side. So we spoke about the injection of Mahinthan. Let's see what Mulheron and Fernandez can do. There's Perez. He's been fantastic in defence. But Pham in open pasture now. We know the speed of Ashwood. He's coming across. Still with Pham. Tries to get around Downey. But Downey held his own. And lovely defence by Lukey Downey. Two of the fastest blokes in the park. The 46 in Pham and the 6 in Downey. We spoke about fatigue. Pham is stretching that right calf. So cramping is certainly something that may be a problem for both these two teams. Spagnolo. It's high. It's long. Finds the head of Mahanthan. Great save. Shahata again. He copped a knock to that skull of his only a few moments ago, but didn't look to worry him one iota on that occasion. As we still see Pham stretching that right calf. So with 25 to go, concerning signs for the attacking superstar in Pham. And equally as damaging and dangerous is Mahinthan. He just can't keep the ball in. And Jaden King coming off for a spell. And Cam Smythe will take his place. So a few substitutions I'm sure will be made for both these sides. They'll need to keep their hydration levels up to get them through the final 25 minutes of play. Johns. Intercepted. Now Sandhu. I'd try and find him if I could. But great defence by Johns again. So all those efforts where they're sprinting off the ball and they don't seem to find that open space, that'll start to hurt them in these final few moments. As Sandhu. It's intercepted again and again. Pham has the ball. Lovely pass. Looks to find Macon. Back to Pham. Giles. He steals the ball. He wants it more. Giles, can he get past one? Tries to get past another and does. Still with Giles. Great defence by Turner. And Turner just wouldn't let him past. And you see him just really sucking in the big ones. I think he's just fatigued and tired. And he's put his hand up to Coach Johns. Says, Marky, take me off. I need a rest. So great defence by JT, Jaden Turner. Dominic Salim will come back on the field. Might need a few sips of water, that young man. And as we discussed earlier, will wind play a factor? The wind is now at the backs of the Knights. It's done a 180 turn. Speaking of 180 turns, hasn't this game done a few of those? As Pham puts it on, you see Macon, the big long strides of Macon. But the equally quick Downey is there to meet him. And Mahinthan, still with Mahinthan, gets past a few, off the right, open goal, overran it though, still a chance. Can he find the back of the net? Pham, he's gone down in the area, waved away. Oh, and Mulheron, a stride too quick. And that is the beast of the spinning football, isn't it? If it sat up on a silver platter, it was 2-2. Maybe 3-1, I should say. But Mulheron, that extra stride, went against him on that occasion. So with a win today, the Knights will find themselves off the bottom of the table. And don't they deserve a win? Spagnolo. It's loopy. It's high. Mahinthan's there. But so's Norris. Needs to give it early, does this man. And it's Ganima, in fact. But getting back there's Cope. And Cope, a pretty scary kick across the face of goal. He knew what he was doing. He's done that a few times before. So the theme of the afternoon has been not if, but when fatigue will play a part. And I'm sure the screens that you're looking at right now are certainly telling that tale. Because there are some tired bodies out there at Valentine Sports Park. Smythe needs it high. Does so. Finds the head. Misses everyone. Another chance for Smythe. Great defence. Cope hasn't stopped. He's been very busy. A few of the boys, they must have the same barber. What's going on with these mullets? Perez. Still with Perez. Still with Perez. Lovely work. So Benny Kramer. But again, Macon. A big aggressive boot of him. Now he heads it. Sandu. They need him to stand up. Lovely pass. Might have too much. And Jonah, it's a shame to see him come off the park, but Jonah Pham, it was once the right calf, now it's both. Maybe the hamstrings too. He made it a business card to H2H Physiotherapy. What do you reckon, Jamie? You know, some tight calves in the morning. Mum will need some Epsom salts and maybe some Gatorade too. If you've ever had a calf cramp before, you do not want to point those toes. As you can see, the heel striking of young Jonah Pham. And if anyone deserves a break, it's the jersey number 46. He's covered more ground than the early explorers, this bloke. He's done plenty of work. Right, Jonah Pham, I'd put those legs aerial. Try and let the blood run back to those hips. That could be the last time we see Jonah Pham this afternoon. So, no goal in the second half. 2-1. Only the one separates the two. And with Pham leaving the field, it could be Rouse Hill taking full advantage. And maybe this man Giles can stand up pretty hard when Macon's everywhere he goes. It's like an ex-girlfriend. He won't leave him alone. Hasn't he been good? Levi Macon. That's a name to pencil down in your black book. And Ashwood. No, in fact, it's Downey. Not his best of the afternoon. Speaking of Macon. And Perez. Good defense again. He's certainly up the ante defensively for the Rams as Mateo Perez. Headed by Macon. Oh, almost a friendly fire between Almeida and Benny Kramer, but they shake hands, they laugh it off, and one's got no hair, one's got plenty. But they're fine, they're good mates. And they'll continue playing this beautiful game of football, and hasn't it been just that? 2-1. Perez finds Norris. Who's going to stand up from the Rams? Maybe it's this man. Maybe it's Ganima. And the effort was there. But again, the compass. They've left it in their kit bags. Haven't the Rams. They haven't troubled Mishu all that much this afternoon. Just the one goal. So the final 15 minutes of play here at Valentine Sports Park. Can the Rams spoil the Knights' party? Or the Knights get themselves off the bottom of the ladder? It's struck by Van Eyck. He's been solid at the back as the number 22 for the Knights side. And Jaden Turner comes back on for Daniel Fernandez. Solid effort from Fernandez. Speaking of solid, Nicholas Cope. He has been relentless at the back. So Giles from one mullet to another. Let's see how this corner looks. It's a nice kick. Finds the head though once again. There was 4 purple defenders with 1 grey Rouse Hill jersey in sight. So I'm not a coach or a manager, but I'd say corner kicks, practicing them at training is certainly what they need to do in the future. Now Giles, but again Cope. Maybe they're long-lost brothers. They look very similar. The only thing that splits the two is the jersey colour and the coloured boots. Ethan Giles, the number 5 for the Rams. Off the left, it's low this time. And he'll have nightmares about making tonight, Will Giles. Has not left him alone. So Giles says, maybe have a crack Norrish. Norrish goes, I'll send it low. Shot on goal, open goal. Still chance, Sandu's there. And a clearing kick by the Knights. Great defence. Something we haven't seen this year from the Hills Knights. Now Minhanthan, he's got one to beat. But it's lovely defence by Benny Kramer. And if Minhanthan got past Kramer there, it could have been all she wrote. 2-run, 2-1, can you believe it? The 8th place Knights defying the odds, defying the late drift. Minhanthan, Almeida, Nadal, if you will. Great save. Shahata, he's been good at the back. Now Giles. It's Cammy Smythe there, and still with Smythe. Good pass, and he's onside too, he's Ashwood. Ashwood, well controlled. Back to Smythe, but no. It's Almeida. Still with Almeida. And that's the efforts that are going to certainly tire out this young man in Giles. Good defence. Good battle there, Minhanthan and Giles. Minhanthan wins that one. Sandu, he's got to up the ante. The number 12 for the Rams. Now, what can Sandu do? Gets around Spagnolo. Spagnolo, though, good defence. And you see that tired look on Giles. And Ethan Giles, hands on hips. He's done plenty of work. Says to coach Upcroft, says, sir, I want to stay on. Give me the final 12, please. As we see JK, Jaden King, returning to the park. I think Mateo Perez took that in the wrong part of the body. Perez, it's a lovely cross, but no one's there for Rouse Hill. Perez just needs to take some deep breaths, I think. So it was a perfect cross by Perez, but there was just one Rouse Hill jersey following through. So they're their own worst enemies at the moment, are Rouse Hill. The chances have been there. Execution, not so much. Opportunity. Couldn't take it cleanly. Could Mishu. So 11 minutes remain. And we said that there hasn't been many grey jerseys in the area. Once again, if you look at your screens, you've got 1.5. You've got Smythe in there, but you've got King, Smythe, clearing kick. But again, just not enough grey jerseys around the ball. I'm not sure the theme behind it, but nonetheless, let's play on. Counter-attacking time. Racing after the ball. It's a little duel, but Kramer, the fresh legs of Benny Kramer, keeps the Rams in this one. 1 goal the margin. The barest of margins separates the two. Manhattan. Kept in by Colbert. Good pass to Ganima. And Macon, good defence by him. Elects to go through Sandu. He goes long. It's nice. Ashwood's there. Keeper stays in his box. Opportunity for Rouse Hill. And Cope again. The defence of Nicholas Cope. Take a bow, young man. So now it is panic stations for Rouse Hill. You can see the intensity lift. You can hear the crowd. Looping corner kick. Chance for Price. Over the top. Over the top. In fact, it was Smythe. And it may have taken a shade of steel too. Cam Smythe collected it with the right. The keeper reached. And I think it may have taken the crossbar as well. Seven minutes remain. Rouse Hill have certainly upped the ante. I wouldn't say the cue's in the rack for the Knights, but it's certainly close. Manhattan. Nice pass, but again, the interception. Another chance. Manhattan. Almeida's there to support him. He's going to do it himself. And Perez, great defence. He's been really nice in this second half. Spagnolo keeps it in. Perfect by him, but gives the ball back to Rouse Hill. In fact, it's Almeida. And Shahata, he's not phased. Nothing stresses him out. Not even a HSC exam. Headed by Salim. Now Sandu just can't keep the ball in. Six minutes remain. What will separate the game? Will the score remain the same as it was at the first break at half time? Or will someone in a Ram or a Knights jersey stand up and level the scores, or really put the icing on the cake? Maybe it's this man. But good defence again by the Knights. Almeida taken off by Ganima. Ganima's been really good in the second half. Good pass. Giles. Still with Giles. Sends it back to Ganima. Ganima a second chance. And Mishu. Well, he probably could have had a kip in the first half. But in the last 10 minutes, he has been troubled at every minute. And man on, I'm not sure that was the play. What were they doing? Going the short kick. And that brings an end, ladies and gentlemen, to our second half, and most importantly, our first game here on the Sunday, the 28th of May. And can you believe it? The odds, the ladder, the table, none of it matters at the end of the day. because it's the team from the Hills. It's the Hills Knights 2. 2 strong for the Rouse Hill Rams 1. It was the courageous efforts of Jonah Pham battling plenty of cramp, and of course both sides playing only 24 hours ago. But it was Pham, it was the defence of the likes of Cope, and of course the big fella in Macon. And for a side that had conceded 30-plus goals in just 6 games, in being the Hills Knights, they only conceded 1 against the first place Rouse Hill side, who were gallant in defeat. The likes of Smythe, Downey, Ganima's inclusion and injection in the second half, and of course Ethan Giles, they can hold their heads high. But at the conclusion of this round 7 fixture, as we hear a round of applause and the Rouse Hill faithful, it's the 8th place Hills Knights 2 defeating the first place Rouse Hill Rams 1. We thank you very much for your company. We look forward to seeing you again next time. But for now, stay tuned and we'll see you next time. I'm just calling the 1 today, actually. Yeah. Is someone else calling the second one? I don't know, mate. Could just be the film. How you going, bud? You been well? Working again on a Sunday? Yeah, good to see. How you got it?
Testing 1 2 1 1 2 2 2 test test test.